Reports have stated that Donovan Mitchell still wants to play for the New York Knicks, despite the fact that he was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers last offseason from his request out of the Utah Jazz, and that if the Cleveland Cavaliers do not start performing better soon, then Donovan Mitchell will want to be traded again, or he will leave and probably end up on the New York Knicks. So welcome back to Knicks Digest, guys. My name is Chris, and we are not going to waste any time. We are going to jump right into it. Here we go. According to Howard Beck, Donovan Mitchell, last we checked, still wants to play in New York. Kind of the scuttlebutt. Clock ticking, important year for the Cavs. Bill Simmons says important first 3 months. If it doesn't start out great, buzz will start. I'm convinced he's not long for Cleveland. First things first, guys. If you want to know what scuttlebutt means and get the rundown on it, go over to Sixers Digest. Casey really just did a great job breaking it down in ways that I could never break down scuttlebutt. It is on the Philadelphia 76ers Joel Embiid Knicks Digest video about Embiid possibly wanting to go to the Knicks. But right now we're talking about Donovan Mitchell, the other star who is constantly giving Knicks fans like us rumors that he may join the team. And this one feels like the most likely one. Because what Bill Simmons said there when he said he's convinced that he's not long for the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's not a hot take. It's something that I think we could all see. He didn't want to go to Cleveland. That was not one of his preferred teams. It seemed like he really either wanted to end up in Miami or on New York. And I think all of us here as Knicks fans want him to end up on the New York Knicks because last time we checked, he is Donovan Mitchell still. He averaged, I won't even say it. I won't do the numbers justice. 28 points per game, 4 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 1.5 steals per game, shot 38% from deep and 48% from the field. If you're counting, that means there was one player last year who shot better from three-point range than Donovan Mitchell, and that was none other than Jalen Brunson, who I think many Knicks fans, including myself, would probably say he's better than Donovan Mitchell at this point. But it does not mean that I don't want Donovan Mitchell on the team anyway. Now, if I'm being honest, I don't like their fit together, never did. I thought it was weird at the time when we thought we were going to get Donovan Mitchell. Now we think we're going to get Donovan Mitchell again, and the fit's still weird. There's not a lot of defense back there, a lot of ball dominance. I think there's a lot of problems with Donovan Mitchell ending up on the Knicks. I don't think it would work if I'm being completely serious. I really do not know if this is the right move, but if Donovan Mitchell wants to come to the Knicks, that means the Knicks could get an all-NBA level player for very cheap. And that is very important. Like, when you look at just NBA history in general, how many times can you realistically say that you got an NBA player for essentially nothing? You got an all-NBA player for essentially nothing. That is what we are looking at with Donovan Mitchell, with this situation, that the Knicks could essentially either sign him outright in free agency, or they could acquire him via trade, and the trade might not be as severe because, one, it's not the former Celtics guy who hated the Knicks, his name is Danny Ainge, who's now on the Utah Jazz, just trying to absolutely screw the Knicks over in a trade. And also, if Donovan Mitchell tells the Cavs, hey, I don't want to be here, send me to New York, they might not send him to New York, but his value would go down. And you have to take chances on players who are this great, even if you don't think the fit is going to be perfect. Obviously, we saw it go pretty badly with Russell Westbrook and the Lakers, but that was a little different. Like, we all still think the Phoenix Suns are going to be good, and they're an ISO-heavy team, so I think in a way, you kind of just say, you know what? What's the damage in trying this, really? You got to go for it. You can't just pass up on Donovan Mitchell if he's going to come for not that expensive of a price, and that, to me, is what is important. How much is Donovan Mitchell really going to cost the Knicks? If it's multiple first-round picks, like multiple unprotected first-round picks, multiple young players, then I'm out. I'm out, guys. I'll be real. I'm out. I just saw Jalen Brunson beat Donovan Mitchell twice in a row in the playoffs. It's not like his teams were much better either time around. The Knicks had a better bench than the Cavs last year. But, like, Julius Randle didn't play well. RJ had a rough start to that series. IQ did not play great in the playoffs. Josh Hart was tremendous. Mitchell Robinson was amazing. But it's not like the Knicks played great. Jalen Brunson won them that series. He outplayed Donovan Mitchell. And I think that's something to be very aware of when we're thinking about Donovan Mitchell as a prospective option for the New York Knicks. I think that is very important. And I'm not saying that I don't want Donovan Mitchell, but I am saying that I don't want to give up too much for Donovan Mitchell. We've seen what he does, and what he does is great. But he has not had a ton of playoff success. Not all his fault. Teams clearly could just play, like they could just completely figure out the Utah Jazz because Rudy Gobert is such a non-threat anywhere from the paint on offense. And clearly teams come the playoffs could just read that, and then boom, you're in trouble already with Utah. And the Knicks were able to basically do a similar thing because the Cleveland Cavaliers could not shoot at all. Now, a backcourt of Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell can shoot the lights out. They can shoot the lights out, they can score like crazy. They can't really defend, can they? And this is a Tom Thibodeau team as of now. Now, here's the thing. Say, because Tibbs is getting up there, he's coached a while in the NBA, maybe he's going to retire soon. If that's the case and the Knicks were to sign or hire someone who will implement an offensive system, I think they have a much better chance. But also, you're going to need Donovan Mitchell to play great defense, which he has shown potential to do sometimes. He's shown at moments where he is a good defender, but also other moments where he's been lackadaisical, where he's playing the funnel the guy to the paint defense on a Cleveland Cavaliers team that does not have Rudy Gobert. And sure, it doesn't mean Jared Allen's not great, doesn't mean Evan Mobley's not a great defender, they both are, but they're not Rudy Gobert. I don't care what anyone says, Rudy Gobert is one of the best low-block defenders of the last 20 years. And because of that, you can't play funnel into the whole defense all the time. It's not going to work against everyone, especially guys who are smaller. Against guards, it's not really going to work as much. And the reason for that is because that guards like Trae Young are going to be able to put Mitch in foul trouble. Mitch's his whole thing is that his big problem has always been foul trouble, and he has lightened up on that, but it does not mean that it's still not an issue. And again, I cannot stress enough how much I'm saying that I don't think the Knicks should not go for Donovan Mitchell. They absolutely should if his price is worth it. But the Knicks have to be ready to pass up on Donovan Mitchell once again because the price is not worth it. Again, I've said this before about Joel Embiid. I've said this about Donovan Mitchell. And I don't want to be the guy who's just always like, oh, well, I don't know if the Knicks should make this trade. What if this happens? What if this happens? What if this negative thing happens? Whatever. I'm not trying to say that. The Knicks have the assets where they probably should go out and make a trade because no one on this roster has superstar potential. I don't think Donovan Mitchell has superstar potential either, though. I do think Joel Embiid does, but the fact that he's older, 29, not old, but he's older, and the Cleveland Cavaliers, or the Boston Celtics, and the Milwaukee Bucks are both really good right now, and Joel Embiid's at his peak right now. The Cleveland Cavaliers are only getting better, but that's not that much of a concern. I think the Knicks are not a team that is supposed to contend right now. I just don't think it makes sense. I don't think they can beat Boston in the playoffs. I don't think they can beat Milwaukee. Is it possible because of injuries and you never know, to win the NBA Finals, it's going to take some luck regardless? Sure, but we all know the Knicks are not a lucky team. I mean, come on. The Knicks have the worst luck ever. So I don't know if that's the right idea to trade for Donovan Mitchell. However, if he wants to go to the Knicks, that means there's a chance they can get him for cheap or they could get him in free agency. I think they should target him in free agency when they have more of a set vibe for the team. Obviously, contracts are going to be weird because they will have just re-signed Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, the deals that are probably going to be massive. But at the end of the day, if you can sign Donovan Mitchell, if you can get Donovan Mitchell for basically nothing, you got to do it. You absolutely have to do it. But if you're going to trade too much for him, then I would say do not do this trade. No go. Not a great idea. And that is all that we have time for today. So thank you so much for tuning into this video, guys. We really appreciate the love. We appreciate all of you so much. But take a look at this, guys. Not subscribed to subscribed. 80% of you have not subscribed to the channel who are watching these videos. I'm not going to lie. I love that you guys are watching the videos. But I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Help us out. Help me out. Help Troy out. Help Dariel out. Help us all out. Help Digest Media out. Subscribe to all of us. It's all love here. It's all love. So make sure to subscribe to the channel because things are only going up from here. I promise. We are coming out with so many videos. Multiple videos a day throughout the entire NBA season. This train is not slowing down. We are only picking up speed, and you do not want to miss it, guys. So be sure to stay tuned in, subscribe, get that notification button on, like this video, leave a comment what you think we should do about Donovan Mitchell. Have yourselves a great day, and remember, go Knicks!